Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 10th of February. So before we get on and look at the technicals, as ever, let's look at the risk events for this morning, or for today, what we've got coming up. Really the key one is this inflation data coming out in the US. We've seen the markets go quite choppy. This is particularly key. Before then, of course, at 9:05 we've got the Bank of England governor speaking, due to speaking at an online event hosted by the City UK. Now, well, I don't know what's going to come of that, but any time he speaks, it can create volatility. So we've just got to be watchful for that. This morning, EU economic forecasts, they don't generally have a lot of hit with them, but as I said, that inflation number is the one to watch out for. So that's pretty much it. Unemployment claims, they don't really kick so much in, but they're coming out at the same time. Bond yield auction would be well after we finish trading for the day. So let's have a look and see the technicals. Let's come out on the dailies first, and you'll see that yesterday was actually an inside day on the euro dollar here. It's really summed it up perfectly. It just was so tight in range. You come out to the 4-hour, you can just see how consolidated price is at the moment, and it looks like it's just waiting. When a number of occasions when it was just taking out and probably just taking out near-term stops. We have got a bundle of stops higher. In fact, also there's these lines I've drawn on here where we've got a load of options that are expiring at the end of today. Now, I say end of 3 o'clock today. So if price was to start moving at 130 and starts moving towards either of these, it could just slow things up, but they are quite a distance away, so it should allow quite a bit of movement beforehand. And as I said, there are quite a stack of options sitting above, all the way up to 11500. Okay, that's the euro. The pound, and they're buy orders when I say orders. The pound, let's look, it's come back in. Well, the pound yesterday did manage a push up, but then just gave it straight back again. It seems to be pretty good at this, trying a bit of a bounce again at the moment, but you look at it in the whole scheme of things, and it's just chopping, and we really need to get this news out of the way. It's a really low news week, and they're sometimes worse than weeks where we've got a bit more news in. At least we get the news out of the way. So we'll see. We've got the US news at 1:30, but the pound, it's got its pivot above at the moment. On normal days, I'd be looking to short into that if it stops at that point and just trade it back down towards its R1 or monthly pivot, whichever. Monthly pivot's been providing quite decent resistance, support, beg your pardon, below, which would be quite good. Okay, to be targeting, that's the pound. The yen. Yen is continuing to ease up slightly each day, slightly higher high and higher lows coming through here, but well, again, it's another consolidated market. Same picture really. I expect, well, it's already caught its daily pivot actually. I'm just having a look. I was thinking about, well, maybe if it pulled back to its daily pivot. Pulling back a bit at the moment, but again, it's untradeable until after the news has come out for me. So sitting there, really largely looking at what might happen around the news time. Aussie dollar yesterday did make some ground up, and it's continuing to be the strongest out there. It has been for a few days now, and again, solid start to the morning at the moment. It's had a bit of a retrace, little bull flag, but pushing up. Long time since I was looking at this sort of area here for a continuation to the downside, isn't it? Just make sure you just see how pretty well it's been pushing up. Now what we do is we get these shoves in the morning, it seems, and sometimes that's it. So what time did it stall yesterday? It's stall towards it. It did manage a little bit further actually. Still got some potential. Looking at the Aussie dollar again, maybe later. Maybe worth waiting, but it's got the potential continuation. I quite like the direction it's running in. Canadian dollar, well, again consolidation, inside bar, and well, currently an inside bar. A breakdown. I'm looking at a breakdown of this weekly pivot. Really, the 200, the 100 there. We'll see if we can get a breakdown. That might be seen later this afternoon, but for now, I think it's going to be a tough one. Okay, that's pretty much the majors there. Let's quick look at gold. So where we're pushing the gold, we just continue in the upward movement here. Continue shove up on gold, solidly pushing up there. Higher lows, higher highs. Slowing up a little bit. I say solidly. It is doing this sort of step formation. Most of the day yesterday, sitting underneath that, managed to poke through, pulled back. Next time it poked through, held up a bit better, and it's been pushing through. So still tracking up northwards at the moment, but struggling a tad. Oil. Oops, let's get the right button there. Oil, if we can. Please, thank you. Oil, where are we going with oil? Again, inside bar almost yesterday. I think we could be in for a bit more of a correction, but I'm not ready to press the button on the correction side yet. It looks quite bearish, and yesterday the 4 o'clock bar was coming off. Then we sort of consolidated, and up until about midday, and consolidated, looking for the break, and it broke, but just minorly, and then completely put this reversal bar in, and then since then consolidating. So it's just worth hanging in there. It is starting to actually, in the shorter time frames here, starting to push up. This could be the mover this morning. Just seeing how it's. I mean, we'll just wait post 8 o'clock at least. But I prefer to trade the oil in the afternoons. It's just Western Texas in the afternoon anyway. It's when the main markets are open. But this could be starting a bit more of a track this morning. Right. Okay. Let's just switch over here and look at the cryptos. Well, Bitcoin, I mentioned it yesterday that it had gone into the underside, the resistance level there, or previous support level there, and reacted. It's now sitting here, well, away from that at this stage. It is such a pivotal area in the market here, whether it's going to push up or not. So a break now above that area becomes again more bullish for Bitcoin. Ethereum, well, I was looking at different areas yesterday. I was discussing, and well, it's just really following the lead of Bitcoin. It would appear key resistance comes in at that 34.24, those prior highs. But aside of that, it's just probably outflanking Bitcoin a little bit. Ripple gave back its gains yesterday, just ending the day a little bit down. Again, it's got sort of resistance points about this sort of 92.85 area, and then pushing up towards this 99.68. But again, we're just watching Bitcoin's lead today, and we might see some movement this afternoon. Some of the other markets have certainly haven't moved to the same extent. They haven't had such a retracement here. They're quite mild in their market movements here. So really, it is the sort of the leaders there that are moving the best. In fact, some just quickly looking at Binance. Binance still struggling here. It does get bullish if it starts breaking its 448 area, because then it'll have put a higher low in. It will be a bit. It's already put a higher low in, but it will just sort of suggest a continuation. So some positive looking signs there if it does break. Looking at the indices, Switching across now to the indices. Well, the CSI 300, well, open and close pretty much. It didn't do too much. Actually went down for part of the day, but closed where it opened. Very indecisive price action there, bearing in mind some the movement some of the other markets had been making. Nikkei too, did gap up, closed down when it's open, but still positive. It's moving. It has broken and given us a higher low, so there is scope for it to work more into this range here at this stage. The thing is, if the market starts rolling, these two markets may just roll even quicker and stronger. I'm going to have to just skirt onto looking at yesterday's data here on the FTSE. Haven't got the market at the moment, but it did close up higher, making new near-term highs. Certainly pushing up DAX, which is continuous contract, live continuous contract. Really no movement in that this morning at the moment, just doji. I still look at the DAX. It's the weaker of the European bourses. It's yeah, in between there at the moment. It's basically in a triangle pattern effectively, and it's struggling to do too much there. The CAC yesterday, well, it did manage to break its and confirm a higher low there, so we're sort of sitting into that higher low territory, just off a little bit at the moment. Early stage here, first hour of the market, whatever. It's a break. It could just continue. It's I'm quite bullish on the CAC at this stage. S&P's E-mini is doing a similar thing here. Haven't quite broken those prior highs there, but a break of that. As I said, I think we just see a bit more a bit more movement to the upside. They look bullish. The Nasdaq not so advanced. It's lagging, but it's lagging. It's lagging the others. There we go. There's the most of the bullish of the US version of the FTSE then. Pushing up there and breaking again. At the moment it's off a tad, but it does, as I say, it still look bullish for a higher low in. Okay, so generally the same story across there. The Nifty positive at the moment. It's a bit more like what we're seeing with the Nasdaq, but is it the Nasdaq? It looks a bit more like the Nasdaq, and maybe the DAX. It's that same sort of picture there. You could mistake them almost, well, side of the gaps, but it has pushed up higher at the moment. It becomes much more bullish, break up here, but well, effectively a consolidation zone on the bigger scale of things. Right, yields this morning, yields off a little bit. We saw them come off a little yesterday and close down a little. They're still near-term highs, and it doesn't mean to say they won't give a shove up. Today's quite an important day, obviously, with that news coming out, and we might see something happen later from that. So I think it really is a case of wait and see what happens later, guys. I wish you a great day. Bye for now.